Well, GM, everybody. Welcome to Opening Bell Crypto. Happy Thursday to you. Tequila Thursday, Taco Thursday, Touch Grass Thursday, whatever you want. Now, I noticed that yesterday the stream didn't work on X. It was glitchy, and I saw a warning today. So I'm thinking, not sure how it's going to be over there. So let me just see if it's working right now. Okay, well, it seems to be working. So seems to be working over there. We'll keep an eye on it. Hope it does. Like I say, that's where I get most of my followers since I've been there a long time, and I'm new. I'm new, of course, to. You know what? I'm going to try and type a. I'm going to try and type a chat test. I'll just do a GM. Do a little quick little GM right over there. See if that works on my thing. But anyway, yeah, so hopefully it'll work. I know it's, it looks like one per, like I said, it didn't work yesterday. And so I moved the link over from YouTube, but hopefully it'll work today. People will be able to join us. Yeah, I'm going to start out with a little clip here because this was an interesting clip yesterday, Michael. It's a little hard, the software I use to play the clips and jump back and forth. So I'm going to join in, and we'll start with this clip here and let you guys listen to it here. If you are on Rumble or YouTube, go ahead and type something in the notes. We'll see if that works. But anyway, yeah, I want to play this. Thought it was a little weird. I'm not seeing really many people over there on X, so it may and may not be feeding properly. We'll see. If not, I'll take the, like I did yesterday, I'll take the YouTube one over and move it over there. But wanted to play you this clip. I thought it was really weird. Let's see here. Just seemed a little kind of strange, so I want to play it for you because I have to do it a certain way so you guys can hear it at the same time. Let me try it. Hopefully it'll work out okay.
If Bitcoin falls 90% for the next 4 years, we'll refinance the debt.
Refinance where, Michael?
We'll just roll it forward. I mean, again.
But you think banks would lend to you at that point?
Yeah, because the volatility of Bitcoin is such that there's always going to be value. Look, you're at 68,000 right now. Literally has to fall to 8,000. Then we just refinance the debt. If you think it's going to zero, then we'll deal with that. But I don't think it's going to zero, and I don't think it's going to 8,000 either. But the credit risk is de minimis at this point.
Yeah, so it was just kind of interesting, obviously he's feeling the pressure. Let me shoot over to let me change the screen share here to my normal screen, which is, make sure what I'm seeing over there. We'll talk about this Michael Saylor clip. Yeah, so let me get to the other screen. Okay, so this screen should work for the rest of the stream here. So let me pull it down a little bit so it fits a little better. Okay, I do see a few more over on X starting to work, so seems to be working. GM, welcome everybody. Yeah, it definitely was glitchy yesterday and then didn't save it. So there was a warning on the software I'm using that they were having trouble connecting with X, the X stream. So hopefully that will work. And since that's where most of my followers are, also GM everyone on Rumble and YouTube. I hopefully the next few weeks I'll also live stream this on TikTok as well. Just getting started over there. But anyway, kind of interesting. I think anyone who saw it probably agree with me. It was just kind of bizarre. Just the tone, it's been clipped up everywhere. It's just kind of almost like, everyone's like, geez, that's, I don't know, just set off bells for a lot of people, right? Doesn't look like the chat's working, by the way. Oh, you know what? That's why, because I'm in notes, not chats. Okay. Sorry, back there. Okay, there we go. Okay. DN Store, GMGM. Well, not bad at crypto. We'll check here in a minute. We're going to talk about Michael Saylor. Then we'll take a look. The market getting ready to open in 2 minutes. Tried to come to you earlier today, and then it had a little problem with my grok that was making some of my titles and images, and had to, I started a half an hour early, and I'm still a little bit later. But anyway, listen, crypto wasn't looking too bad last time I looked. So anyway. Yeah, so it looks like it's working over on it looks like it is working over on X, so maybe not perfectly, but GM, everyone over there. Okay, so listen, this was just kind of weird, the whole Michael Saylor thing. It just clipped up a lot. I saw it all over. Didn't build confidence. Seemed like he was a little unhinged or something, a little nervous. I don't know. Might just have been a bad clip, but basically, look, obviously they're under, this was 17 hours ago, and of course, Bitcoin's popped a little since then. And, he was like $6 billion. It's not hard when you own, 715,000 Bitcoin. It's not hard to go up or down $1 billion with a very small price change. So, the issue is, and people say he's going to go bank, all this stuff. And he was saying it need to go to 8,000 before they'd have to restructure some debt. But really, most of the way that he's been smart of how he struggled, because he knew it was going to be up and down, and he's going to be under pressure, and people can always dump the stock, and then that'll always be an issue. But it's not really one of insolvency or him having to really do much with his credit because of the way he structured it, right? Worst case, people dump the stock. Now, what people kind of focus on, I think, is the preferred shares, which the preferred shares pay interest, I think like 11%. And to stop some of the FUD last fall that was really hitting them hard, they went ahead and they set aside like $3 billion. So you have enough to pay it for 2 or 3 years. So it's not really a problem. And he knew this would happen, especially if it gets worse. It's just, the pressure is going to ratchet up on him and Tom Lee and all these guys. Worst case, people dump the stock and that doesn't look good, but they're not going to get a margin call or something like that. And they're leaning more and more towards the preferred shares and things like that. Now, were everything to go to hell and worst case scenario, then yeah, the normal shareholders would get left out to dry. And I think this is a problem because right now it's like, okay, in dark times like this, why not just buy spot Bitcoin? Now, there's a lot of reasons for that, and he's been able to do a lot. There's a lot of institutions and stuff that can't. But for the normal buyer out there, probably just safer to buy spot. Now, because of how they create debt, they sell bonds, they do all these preferred shares. It is kind of a leverage play on Bitcoin, okay? So, I like it as a stock, and I would probably own it, and I believe in it, and I would want to support Michael Saylor. But anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because he did seem a little unhinged, a little nervous. But the reality is he's probably not going to get nervous till we see $10,000 Bitcoin, which will never happen. So, obviously, it pops back and he could be up. I think at one point they were up 30, 40 billion profit, and he will be again. His average price is around a little lower than we are now, but not crazy. So anyway, just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was interesting. Let's take a quick look at the market just opened. Let's see how we're looking here. Let's look at NASDAQ. It was looking to open in the green, and like as ever, let's see how we're looking. Hopefully good. Typically, I have to get talking to you by 9 a.m. so that we can have about a half an hour to talk before the market opens. Yeah, about what we were expecting. Looks like the NASDAQ 25,378 up third, up 0.35%. Now here, I'm going to lose my little picture and screen down there if it's okay. Okay, so the Dow 50,302, holding that all important 50,000 point mark. And the reason that I would say that's important is because we never hit that before last Friday. So nice, we've been holding it. Dow over 50,000 like that, up 0.3% today. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. S&P is 1,069.81, up 0.29. On kind of wouldn't say totally uneventful. We're not dealing with major stuff here. Let's take a look over at our crypto world. What we really came here for, really care for. By the way, I am Twitter. Hope good. You can hear okay. I know if it's X or if it's the interface between Restream, the software I use, and X, but yeah, really glitchy, really didn't work, and then they didn't save it. So anyway, hopefully it works. If not, I will upload the YouTube link when I get that fully done today. But just quick look at the bubbles, not bad. Some down, a lot of times when you see the big down, it's either or, they were really pumped really high yesterday. But let's take a look at the important ones. Bitcoin sitting at 8,231, officially up 0.4 and about that since the market opened. So not bad. We hit a low. Think about it. We hit a low of 65. If you see it there, 65,860, just about 24 hours ago, almost 3,000. So I'll take it. And we have even been up. Yeah, we're doing good. I would say we're doing good for a Thursday. We'll see if hopefully we don't get that legendary 10 a.m. dump that we've been getting lately. Let's look at Ethereum. Still not quite above 2,000. It's crazy to see. To me, I don't know why it's so shocking, but it's just crazy for me to see ETH back under 2,000. But geez, we got almost dropped below 1,900 yesterday. We are sitting in 1,993 officially, down, up 1.1% for the day and 0.1 for the hour. So I'd say a decent rebound. Love to see it grab that 2,000. I like those big numbers, whether they're psychological, whether they have as much meaning in the technical analysis side. They're just a big even. I think it always has some importance. XRP, man, I've been on TikTok. People love XRP on TikTok. Let's take a look at it. We'll start covering it here. Maybe they love it here. I like XRP. I'm not in love with it, but I haven't said that I've made, I've been here. So, man, I made a lot of money in XRP, multiple 100Xs. So I can't complain, and I really want to see them do well. And I think they're one of the blue chips, and I'm going to probably look into it a little more and do a little more in-depth reporting of what they're doing recently. But XRP, $1.39.8, almost $1.40, up 1.6% for the day, up 2% for the hour. So a little poppier than the other ones. Got all the way down to $1.34. BNB quickly, 613. Got some news on BNB, what they're doing with their Seifu fund and buying some Bitcoin and stuff. Like to see that, though. CZ is under a lot of attack right now, and people are, blaming a lot on him, especially the 1010 thing. We have some news on that as well. But yeah, it looks like a few more people joining us on X. Welcome, GMGM. Hopefully we're going to be okay. Little glitchy yesterday, didn't save. Hopefully it's working today. I did see a warning when I locked in, but that's where most of my friends fam over there. So hope that works. Solana, 81.35 up. Well, look, we're 0 for the day, 0 for the hour. So we'll take it. Considering we got down to 78.30. Wow, still down 58.5% for the year. Heck, 43% for the month. So that is what it is. A pretty vanilla milkshake day, knock on wood, because you never know what'll happen. But I would say that's not bad for a Thursday, with a lot of crazy stuff. But let me just show you something. And this is shocking, and it's something to think about. And big news of the day: fear and greed at 5. I mean, it almost never gets to 5. Like, that is so low. It's crazy, right? Like, that's some of the worst. You look at some of the worst events in history of crypto and Bitcoin, and it's not got down to 5 or barely touched 5. It's just about as bad as it gets. Let's put it that way. And I get it. There is a lot of uncertainty and stuff and whatnot. I want to flip this as a positive to say, damn, man, it's time to either buy or start buying or buy more. I mean, I don't know why. There's a lot of macro indicators I use. I look at the M2 money supply. I look at obviously like the moving averages. I look at the 50 week. I look at the 200 week moving. I look at all these things and other macro indicators. But man, fear and greed is one of my favorites. Fear and greed, I 100% buy into it, believe in it, and take it to the bank, so to speak. Fear and greed. I'm just telling you, I've been here for 15 years now, full time for more than 10 years. I am full time employed in the blockchain Web3 crypto world here, and I'll tell you what, man, this is when I get excited. If you can't hear my voice, this is genuine excitement. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of fear out there, a lot of pain, a lot of uncertainty. I get it, but man. I'm telling you, if you just trade the fear and greed, do it sometime. Pull it up, run it on some charts, or search some other people who've done it. I'm telling you, it is about as good as indicators you can get. Now, does that mean we're at the bottom? No. In fact, I've got, I'm gonna have to go pull it up. I didn't get it pulled up in time. I'm going to go over here to X, and I'm going to go to one of my favorite chart guys, Merlin the Trader. So we'll have to do this live because I had a little glitch with my system getting started. But this is important. I think we should look at this just so our eyes are open. And we're getting near a bottom. Are we at the bottom? No. Could we crash down? Yeah, especially, Merlin the I like Merlin the Trader because he makes simple, easy. Merlin. Trouble finding him. Merlin the Trader. Where the heck is he at? I don't know these are Merlin the Trader. I don't know if this is him or not. Dang it. This is why I like to pull it up early. See, the hardest one to pull up is this is not him. Sorry, I'm going to take 1 second here and see what his, because I think this is an important clip. And like I said, I ran out of time to pull it up. Let me see if I can find what his ad is. I hate it when someone's ad is so different you can't find them. But here we are. It's Merlin, M-E-R. What the heck? Sorry, bear with me a little. I want to show you this chart. And he's a good person to follow. There we are. Anyway, I like the count here. I like what he like his makes it early for those who don't understand TA. And I'm an amateur TA-er, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's already parked a lot of stuff here. Okay, here it is. This is the one I wanted to talk. And just, so we have our eyes wide open here. Talking about Fibonacci. Fibonacci is, you get different levels in Fibonacci levels that people use. And you could really, if we had a little more time, I'd ask Grok what Fibonacci is. But you can go ahead and ask what it is. Pretty accurate TA tool or theory or strategy or whatever it is, and everybody uses it, so it's not like obscure. And there's just different levels that you kind of know. If you lose this Fibonacci level, you'll drop to this Fibonacci level. You hit this Fibonacci level, here's kind of the next. So here it says 126 all-time high at the 0.382 fib. That's 78,000. That level had to hold. It didn't. Okay, it didn't. Now the 0.618 trace comes to play at 48,000. So that's, if you look at it, that's another level we could dump to according to Fibonacci. That's not emotion, that's structure. Lose 48 on a weekly close. Once again, not that we Dutch over it, or we do it on an hourly, or the five of us Dejan watching the minute charts on our meme coins, No, he's talking on a weekly close. If we lose 48 on a weekly close, which is Sunday night, daily closes, the farther you zoom out, kind of the more important and the more accurate they become, right? So if we don't want to hit it on any level, but there's a difference between dropping below 60, wicking down like we did the other day, and having a daily close or a weekly close there. So just kind of TA 101. If we lose that on a weekly close, then 35, 36 becomes structurally viable. Risk first, always understand what we're doing. I don't think we're going to get those levels. I really think the high 50s, which is the 200-week moving average. I think that's, we kind of wicked around that the other day. I think that's our next level. Then we kind of look at these levels. But anyway, I want us to at least be aware of kind of where we're at, and not put our head in the sand. Now this is my no 48.eth. There was news today that Coinbase co-founder and CEO Brian Armstrong sold off coin shares for the past year, crashing in around 550 million. In total, Armstrong only sold 5% of his total coin holdings. I noticed UBS or somebody changed the rating on Coinbase from hold to sell. So, this has some effect. Listen, I was the CEO of a publicly traded company for about 8 years on the NASDAQ. We're on the OTC NASDAQ exchange. And everybody watches you. I remember, I was like 25, 26 at the time. Went up to visit my uncle with my cousin. He was newly married, him and his wife. And me and my wife, we took a road trip up to Jackson Hole, about 6-8 hours. So can't remember exactly, but up the next state from where I live. And his dad was an accountant there and lived in Jackson Hole for years and years. And I remember when I walked in his office, he's like, "Hey, how do you like living in a fishbowl?" And I knew the saying, right? Everyone's watching your every move, but I didn't really understand it till people scrutinize everything, So I made sure that I kind of didn't take a huge paycheck, probably as big as I could have. And I also tried to buy, not sell my shares. Now I get it. It's only 5% of his holdings. And then Quentin makes a good point. You judge, but the judgment of the community, someone who has built a company for 14 years, finally is able to sell some shares, selling 5% of his holdings. Who wouldn't do that in his position? The real stupid move would be to not sell anything. I would do exactly the same. And I get it, I get it. But it's 5% of his holding. But I checked the market cap earlier. The market cap is 41 million. So it's like 2% of the total, dollar wise is 2%. It wound up being over $500 million on a 41 million market cap. That's not great, right? So I get it. You do what you want. We complain about Vitalik selling and kind of being out of it. And I really like Brian Armstrong. He's really doing a lot to try and legitimize the industry and stuff, and always fighting for us and stuff. Not the biggest fan of Coinbase, but I do support him, and I'm a fan of Brian Armstrong, but it's just a bad look. I get it. You got to sometimes take profit, and we certainly need to do that ourselves, probably more. But anyway, just food for thought there. You decide what you think about it. I'm going to bring my little picture back here just for a second, see if it's tracking a little better. But anyway, look, that's up to you. To me, it's bearish when I see someone, especially selling that much at one time. So, to each your own. Wanted to talk about it. I don't like it. I think it's bearish, but I get the counter argument. But that's just a lot to sell. Also, in a bear market and bad times, sell that into strength. Show that you believe in your company. I wouldn't sell that much at once, personally. I wish I had that much to sell personally, and probably so do you. We talked about Michael Saylor. This is interesting. More and more we've seen this news, and that's probably why we look over here and see, oh, shit, I hope that didn't work. Almost shut down all my windows. Jeez, that would have not been good. We'd have really been in trouble there. But look, part of the reason Uniswap is down so much is because, probably shouldn't, but it kind of spiked up a lot, right? Spiked up to $4. Now it's down to $3.36. So, but part of the reason is there's a lot of news that they're doing stuff. BlackRock, who's a huge believer in RWA and stuff, they're going to be doing a lot with Uniswap, and this is the first step. I know there was some news yesterday. I don't remember exactly what it is, but look here on the BUIDL fund, build fund, whatever. That's the first, I think, only, I don't know if it's the first only tokenized or it's partially tokenized from BlackRock, but it might be fully tokenized, or at least tokenized by one of the biggest asset managers in the world, and they are putting it on Uniswap now. So this is BlackRock's first really step into actual DeFi, decentralized finance, which means you kind of don't need a middleman, right? You can set up a Phantom wallet, no KYC, nothing. Hold your keys. No one else has access to that, and then you can do that, and you can work kind of anonymously or whatever, right? No one needs to necessarily know who you are. Now, the interesting thing about this specific fund by BlackRock is that I think it was only for institutional investors, which is interesting. I'm sure they'll geo-block it for Americans, but quite an interesting take, in my opinion. But the big news is the biggest asset manager in the world is taking a step into DeFi, and they're going with Uniswap. Listen, when I'm looking at strategy, if I was Bill, may include Uniswap in it. Let's go back how it's for the year. 64%, like everything, and I certainly wouldn't be necessarily buying this, but in a balanced portfolio, it's ranked 35. It's one of the largest initially ERC20 or 3-based wallets or swapping places, dexes. I've owned it. I made like 60,000 on their airdrops, so I'm not going to complain. I was happy. I actually had like 10 wallets, and I know of them, and I would have made like 300 grand if I had been using all the wallets that I used at the time. But anyway, yeah, listen, I just say that it's good. It's a big thing that BlackRock, the biggest, this isn't going away. We're early. All the FUD you see, all the problems, all the price action, it's not a bad thing. I'm going to move this mic as close as I can. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But anyway, big news. We did have U.S. initial jobless claims. Came in at 227,000 expected 222. So it's a little worse. So the job market's still weak. Keep in mind, the Fed has a dual mandate. What that means is they don't worry about housing. They don't worry about interest on the debt like Trump would. All they worry about really is unemployment, employment, and inflation, right? So the jobs are more, jobs aren't trending right, could make it a little more likely to have a rate cut. The rates cuts, I think, dropped to like 10% after yesterday's good job numbers. So, or when was that, Wednesday? I think that was yesterday, the delayed one. So this could make it a little better. It'd be interesting. I don't have time, or I don't have it pulled up right now, but maybe we're a little, it'll be a little better. I don't think the next one's coming up in mid-March. Powell and Trump hate each other. I don't think he's going to do it. New Fed chair coming in May. I don't know if I have the slide. I think we're looking at people are talking. I may have an article on it here, but people are looking at pricing in right now basically 2 rate cuts for the year, and first one in July. We don't think Powell. I don't personally think Powell's gonna do anything. He's gonna kind of go out with a big middle finger to Trump if he can. But those are the claims. The U.S. jobs market is still weak and struggling, and a lot of what Trump's doing, I mentioned yesterday, is going to take years to happen. Like the thing with Taiwan Semiconductor, that's like a 4 or 5 year process. Investing billions, $500 million or 400 million or some crap like that. But maybe it's 5 billion, 4 or 5 billion. It's crazy, but it's going to take some time. So, okay, we're going to have to kind of hit these last fast because only have 7 minutes left. Look, Trump, 57% of Americans disapprove of Trump's policies. Look, it's going to take time. It's hard. A big fat person doesn't like when you're on the treadmill yelling at them and doing what it takes to get that weight loss, making them hike when they don't want to, making them eat salads when they want a triple cheeseburger, right? But Trump's policies are probably good. They're probably going to work, but he does have a little bit of a PR problem. And, if that's a true poll, then, he's got some work to do. Yeah, Elon Musk just announced X Money is launching in the next 2 months. There's no question he wants X to become kind of an everything app, and that's fine. I think that's great. However, he's got some work to do. We see him struggling with the algorithm and stuff now, but this is important for us because we know he likes Doge. We know he likes crypto. We know he gets that. We know he believes in freedom of speech and probably self-custody, all those things that we believe in. So this is big news. And it's coming. I guess it's in test phase right now. So that can be, he wants us to do everything here. All of our banking, all of our chatting. He's already got I don't know how many people use it, but it's all the chat service. I haven't used it. I probably should start. But anyway, he's working on that. That's a big news for us here in the space. 7 banking giant UBS just increased its Bitcoin exposure via IBIT. That's BlackRock's ETF by 300%. Largest bank in Switzerland buying Bitcoin. Okay, big money. Right now people are fearful. We need to be greedy. We need to be fearful when other people are greedy. When other people are fearful, we get greedy. Now's the time. Biggest bank in Switzerland buying. Tom Lee, man, I don't know. Tom Lee, he's under massive pressure. 11 billion dollars upside down on his Ethereum fund. Tom Lee said live on CNBC that Bitcoin and crypto about to go parabolic. The bottom's in. We will see. He's got some good quants. He's smart, but man, that guy's under tremendous pressure right now. I'm a little worried about him. I don't worry for Saylor, but if you're at all concerned for Saylor, you got to really be a little bit scared for Tom Lee. He's got to be under enormous pressure, but he keeps buying, and I'd love to see when Ethereum hits for 5,000, he's going to be loving life. Binance in the news, Binance had what they called the Seifu Fund. One time, CZ, was trying to say your funds are safe, and he said it was Seifu by accident, and I don't know if he wrote. I think he's actually said it. And that could be because English probably isn't his first language, or whatever. It's been kind of a joke. So they have this Seifu Fund. They have $1 billion to protect their people in if there's any kind of exploit or hack or anything like that. It's always been a stable coin. He's now fully transitioned that 15,000 Bitcoin over $1 billion in this price, all in Bitcoin now. So if CZ is bullish and he takes all of his reserve Seifu fund and puts it all in Bitcoin, man, if you're too bearish right now we're in a bearish trend. We could go lower. I'm not saying that's not true, but man, if you're truly a bear, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, long-term, if you're a long-term bear, then I can't really help you, right? But man, this is crazy. It's crazy times here. Looks like Twitter's delayed real bad. I hope it works today. Hope you guys can hear me okay, even though it seems a little bit delayed when I'm watching it. But with all that, hopefully it saves and works. Otherwise, I will upload the YouTube. But anyway, $1 billion. Basically, Binance just bought $1 billion. And this money is not, this stream's way jacked up. It looks way behind. Anyway, hope it works. If it doesn't save, like I say, so apologize to everyone there. Hopefully, I'll see what the problem is. Hopefully, they get it sorted. Anyway, headline: Binance buys $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and it's not something they're going to sell. They're going to hold it. So, last couple stories here. That's a small account, but he said Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse thinks crypto will have its own $1 trillion company. Said Ripple could be one. We shall see. We shall see. I'm going to do a little more research into Ripple, bring you a little more basic content because I hear so much about it, especially on TikTok. I want to see I really want to deep dive what they're doing today. We'll see. They get $1 trillion, figure out what that would mean. Here's another thing from Mr. Crypto. The World Uncertainty Index rises to level before seen. The market hates uncertainty. We've got the word as bad of fear as we've ever seen. Fear and greed as bad as we've ever seen. Okay. And now we have the World Uncertainty Index to levels we've never seen. So, I mean, this is a crazy world we're living in, crazy dynamic. To me, it just shouts buy hard assets, buy Bitcoin. That's what it shouts to me. You do your own, you do what you want to do. I'm buying Bitcoin like it's going out of style. Bhutan, the happiest country on earth, all run by Buddha, famously under the radar mined, a couple $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, or $1 billion, $500 million worth of Bitcoin, and they've sold it. They built a new airport with it. Very small country. Their whole GDP is only less than $2 billion. So looks like they've moved 100 Bitcoin. They're probably going to sell it, but they're using it a little bit. Also, keep in mind they have all this hydroelectric power. They're continuing to mine Bitcoin, so not such a bad thing in my opinion. Okay. Okay, we'll just hit these last couple actually quick because I got to jump on the. Every day I have a show I've been doing for 4 years. GM Bitcoin show over on X. I'll be doing that. It's a space. Have some co-hosts and a lot of speakers that help me out there. Come join that. Join me there. It's starting here. Almost supposed to start right now. So let's wrap this up. Binance CEO Richard Tung said $19 billion crypto liquidations on 10/10 were driven by U.S. China macro shocks, not Binance. I don't know. Maybe certainly started by that. Something to talk about. We won't get into it. Russia is trying to block WhatsApp, and they just blocked Telegram. They don't want people using encrypted stuff. They want to spy on you. Shocking. And Europe, everyone else isn't too far behind. There's only an 8% chance that Bitcoin, according to Call Sheet, that Bitcoin will be above 200K by next year per Call Sheet traders. I might go take that bet. I may open that up and throw a couple $100 at it because it does have the potential. It just has to hit at any time between now and the end of the year, wick up. I'll look at the details, but yeah, it shows you what sense at anyway, right? And last but not least, oh, that's our fib check. That's where let's check on Bitcoin on the way out here. It looks to me like the X stream is way behind out. Maybe will or will not save, but I will post the full one here on X. But anyway, let's go back and check out Bitcoin on our way out here. Bitcoin 67,601. Not off the highs, but not doing bad. It's a sideways day. Everybody, we will be here tomorrow, hopefully bringing you, letting you know what happened while you were sleeping, what macro trends are affecting Bitcoin today, and we'll try and guess where Bitcoin's going. I don't know where it's going in the next couple of days, but I'm